This market keeps flashing strength in one pocket and weakness in another. One day it looks ready to break out, the next day it fades back into the range. Traders who chase the green candles are getting chopped. The edge this week is simple. Align the indexes, respect the 8 EMA, and buy strength near the pivot, not emotion at the highs. Welcome to Market Edge, ahead of the trade.
Take it from the top right here. Energy, Direxion Energy. You can see the name right up there. Direxion Energy. Now, what does it show? This is, again, weekly on the left and daily on the right. There's quite a bit of overhead supply there. And until it starts showing some power, be a little cautious with energy stocks. So now, how many of you knew? I'm sure a lot of you knew that, but some didn't go, oh, thanks, Pat. That helps narrow down my focus. Right. If it starts to take out this line right here on the weekly, with volume, that could be something to maybe look into. But at this point in time, it's choppy, not a lot of power there. Let's move on, and that's energy. Let's continue onwards. You can always see the name right up here at the top, by the way. Okay, Dow Jones Internet. Okay, First Trust. You can see a clean base here, and I'll draw this to help you. You've got clean tops here on the daily, which also corresponds, by default, clean tops on the weekly. Everybody sees it. It's nothing fancy. What does it need to do? Take out the tops of that line with volume. But note, this is important. Do you see how the wide range in these bars whipping back and forth? That indicates high investor emotions. It indicates lack of investor conviction where, oh, it's good. It's going to be good. Oh, wait, it's dropping. Oh, God, I got to sell it. Runs up, gaps down. Runs up, drops. That tells us there's sellers up there. Be aware of that. Till it pushes through these tops here on the daily or the weekly, be kind of cautious. A, with the ETF, but also, this represents a lot of internet stocks too. There we go. Let's move on. IBD 50 doesn't look too bad, does it? Backed off here a little bit. It's been kind of loose through here, but it's near highs. Look at the weekly chart. New closing highs. What does that tell us? The IBD 50 is a great proxy for leaders. I'm not saying buy them, buy them all, nothing like that. I'm just saying narrow your focus down. We don't need to look at a million different charts, okay? We look at the best of the best, all right? An IBD 50 going through these tops right here might be something to look into. But at this time, it's a little ragged, okay? Just laying it out there for you. Gold miners, see this base breakout right here on the weekly? That's serious money, folks, right there. Yeah, this was on the key. Well, here, watch this. There's a spot right here that corresponds with this line, and then a small shelf here, and then it lifts off again. Refresh it. There we go. That is how bigger money is made. This was on the key list, and it was bought a couple of times, and it runs up from, we'll say down here, 56 to 80 something. That's a monster gain, folks. And what did we do? We bought it right. We added to it, and we've been sold some into strength. There we go. And accept this fact too. All right, you're not going to sell at the top. There's too much stress and pressure to try to get to that. Get what you can, sell off in pieces, and be happy. Just less stress, clear thinking. Better decision making, more money. Gold, same situation. Look at that base breakout back here and here. This was on the key list for buy. And here's the daily. That's a great move, folks, from, we'll call it 310 up to 400. Wow. Now, we didn't sell at the top, but as it was rallying up, you sell some into strength. Another valuable lesson for everybody. At Mission Winners, we study price and volume combined together. Oh, it's going up. Oh, there's a little bit of selling volume right there. Look at that bar. The selling volume on that bar is heavier than all the buying volume bars here, right? It's a taller bar. Then it rallies up. Oh, this is great. Note the selling volume on that bar, okay? And the next bar goes higher on good volume, but much less than the selling volume. It's telling you, hey, I'm getting heavy up here. It's being met with selling. And then it does this on heavy volume. Those are reliable triggers to sell some of your shares. If it keeps dropping, you sell the rest. That's what we do at Mission Winners. Notice this. No forecasting. I don't know the future. Nobody does. All we do is we study price and volume. And I hope that's why we started this. Or when I started this was to teach and help. I taught this at IBD meetups for 12 years. Heck, cybersecurity, a little choppy right here. Rallies up and backs off. Rallies up, gaps up and backs off. And you can see it on the daily chart too. Until it takes out these tops, and I'll draw the line to help you with cybersecurity. Just gotta kind of wait. Also note the gap down on heavy selling volume there. Do you see that? That tells you that's institutional selling. It tells you be a little cautious with this stock or this ETF and the industry group. There we go. I'll go a little faster to help you. Biotechnology steadily trending. Note the base breakout here. Note the base breakout here. And just trends on it. There you go. That is how money is made with much less insight. There we are. Basis, volume, base, volume pickup. Look at the volume pickup on that bar. Note the trend on the weekly. Note the trend on the daily, on the ADMA. There we go. Now, it's extended in price here. Don't buy it up here. But I'm just trying to educate what to look for. So the next time you see something like this, you'll know what to do. That's power and money for people. I buy, you buy, we all buy. Okay. Online retail ETF. Okay. Kind of choppy here. Kind of whipping around till it shows some strength. Be cautious with online retail and the ETF. Here we go. Software technology had a downward sloping trend line. It lifted through it and then backed right off. Now it has new tops. So we clean this up. And again, I try to educate on these videos. Right there, and cross these tops right there. Pretty much the same line, okay? What's it need to do? Again, this is expanded technology software. It needs to take out these tops with volume. Note, though, it did gap and drop down on fairly heavy volume on that daily chart. Also fell down on the weekly selling volume. So until it takes out these tops, be a little cautious with software. There we go. And the ETF. IHI, medicine. They need medicine. Okay, I'm sorry. I had to say it. It dropped pretty hard. Until it starts to show some power, be careful with medicine stocks. There we are. Medical, we could say. IJH, mid-cap. Kind of choppy here, too. Nice long base on the weekly. Rallies up, reversal bar, and they slam it right back down. Until it starts to push through these tops, be cautious. Be a little cautious. There we go. Let's move on here. ITA, aerospace defense. Pretty nice trend here on the daily, and nice trend on the weekly. It's trending nicely on the daily. A little choppy up here now. There's no real clean entry on it, okay? So just be cautious. Please note, folks, I'm not being bearish. I'm not getting all negative. I'm just saying there isn't a high probability setup here. That's all. Maybe there will be later in the week. And we scan these every day, and we're always ready. To business and mission winners, we run it like one. Home construction, quite a bit. Look at the selling on the weekly, selling on the daily. Be cautious with home construction stocks. I'd avoid them for right now. Growth. Look at that. S&P 500 growth. Look at that trend. That trend. Yeah, are we involved with a lot of big S&P 500 growth stocks? Yes, we are. It was telling us to. Okay? You see it also in MAXLIST stocks. Love them. IWM, a little choppy, starts to go up. Still, it takes out these tops. I'll draw this to help you. Still, it starts to take out this top right here, folks. Be a little cautious with small cap. It needs to show some power. Also note, what do you see? Just look at the red bars, the volume bars. There looks like there's taller red bars than green bars. Yeah, what's it indicate? Some selling. There's more selling than buying at this point in time. There you go, that's all. IYR, real estate, nope, leave it alone. Transportation, nice long base on the weekly, kind of loose on the daily though, whipping around here. Okay, needs to take out this top line with volume, and until it does, leave it alone. Okay, this stuff will chew you up. Oh, look, it's going. Oh, God, it's dropping. Oh, it's going. Oh, God, it's dropping. Oh, it's going. Focus on cleaner and simpler bases. It will increase your investing results. That's not an opinion. That's a fact. I managed money all the way through the crash of '87, so we got a little experience with this. We avoided it too, by the way, thank heaven. Online retails. Base in here, excuse me. Global Jets, my apologies. Going across these tops here, bigger base. You can see that line. Now's the lower level, but notice how choppy it is, back and forth, okay? Be careful with that. Just, again, this is very important. Charts reflect human emotions, human decision-making. Oh, they're in it? Big reversal bar down, down, up, down, up, down, up. And again, I'm not trying to be funny, down. There's no conviction with this at this point in time. So for now, we leave it alone. Let's move on here. Banking. No real power there at this time. And I'm going to say this again to help you. That green line is the 50-day moving average line. The air is better above a rising 50-day moving average line. Sounds corny? It's a fact. Continue regional banking, no real power there. It's below a falling 50-day. That's the green line. I'll say it again. You want to dramatically improve your investing results? Narrow your search down? Avoid stocks below a falling 50-day. That's simple. Well, I might miss something. Stack the deck in your favor. It'll help. Let's continue onwards. Here we go. Mid-cap, MDY. Now there's another new line here, and I'll just draw this to help clean this out for you a little bit. Right there. There's some tops there, but it's got a ways to go to get up there, folks. Okay? It's chopping around right now. There's no clean setup on it. Just leave it alone. By the way, if you have to look for it, and I said this at IBD meetups, and they'd come out and listen to me. If you have to look for it, really look for it, it's probably not there. Think about it. Very pragmatic. We want to key on patterns that it is easy for us to see, easy for others to see. If everybody sees it, again, it increases the odds they see it and they'll buy too, right? Isn't that what we want? Well, sure, yeah, let's have a party. Here we go. Oil services trending up nicely here. Little extended here, no real spot here, but it has exhibited some strength, something to watch going into the future. Next week, oil services. Pharmaceuticals is basing. You can see it on the weekly. You can see it on the daily. And I'll just do this real quick. Some tops across there. But what is it going to need? It's going to need some real volume coming through here, folks. Okay? It's kind of loose. Kind of loose. That's high investor emotions. They like things to like the chart patterns, the price patterns to tighten up a little bit. NASDAQ 100 QLD. Look at that weekly break and look at that trend. Do we own some NASDAQ 100 stocks? Yeah. Yeah. So chopping around here right now, just basing, going sideways. That's fine. It's constructive. Nothing to do with it. We just sold some off. Now we let it work and see what happens. But it does exhibit leadership. Same thing's true with QQQ. Retailing, look how choppy this is. Look at that. Oh, it closes, it runs up and then reverses down. Oh, look, it goes up near the highs. Gaps down. Oh, gosh, it's breaking out now and it reverses right back down on heavy selling volume. Be cautious with retailing until it starts showing some life across these tops. There we go. Cloud computing, that one doesn't look too bad, does it? You could look at SKYY and see what their top 10 holdings are. You may find something in there that looks good. That's why we do this at Mission Winners. Cloud computing, SKYY. Now you can say, well, let's buy this a little bit extended. Be careful with that. I'll say this again. Try to buy close to the pivot or don't buy at all. Don't chase price. It will protect you financially and mentally. Silver has a little pullback right here on the weekly and a little base right here on the daily. And I'll draw this just to show you what I'm talking about. I know you can see it, but I try to help every way I can. That line's a little bit off, but you get the point. There's a base right there. Needs to push through there with volume. Now, this is a pullback setup. This is not a longer base breakout. Pullback setups are less reliable. If you buy it, go smaller to lessen control risk. There we go. Steel's just trending up nicely. No clean entry on it, but it's been telling you for a while, hey, you can get involved with me. You see? So a little bit of a pullback here. Maybe it'll get a bounce off the 80 in May. But again, it's a little bit more aggressive. Just be aware of it. SMH, Semiconductors. Look at that nice base back here. Another base here. There it is on the weekly. Draw this just so you're confirming with me. And it's just basing. It's started to lift off. a little bit extended, nothing to do with it, but it has exhibited strength, hasn't it? And it has for a while. Say, hey, maybe look into some semiconductor stocks or the ETF, this ETF. There we go. Same thing's true with SOXL, Direxion, Spiders trending here. Support on the ADMA, that needs to hold. The trend is up. Look at the weekly chart, folks. What's the trend? It's up. What do? Get in line with it. That's all. How do you get in line with it? Focus on leading groups and the leading stocks in those groups. That's the whole gist of this video too. Training and coaching. SSO, the leveraged one, same situation. Solar doesn't look too bad. A little choppy here, a little gappy. Okay, gaps down, gaps up, a little slop here. But you could look into some solar stocks or the TAN stock itself, the TAN ETF, for potential entry, maybe across these tops right there. I'll draw this as a service to help. That's good enough. Now, take a look. Oh, it rallies up, gaps up, closes near the lows. Oh, that ain't good. Oh, look, it's going again. What's it do? Pushes through these tops and reverses down and closes near the lows on a pickup in volume. Indicates there's selling up there. Needs to push through there with volume. It's kind of loose. Be careful with that. Loose charts indicate high investor emotions. You don't want that. Faster here now. Here we go. Small cap, not a lot going on there. Leave it alone. Uranium kind of shopping around here a little bit. Had good volume on this bar right here. Go across these tops, possibly look into it. But how many stocks are in this ETF? You have to do some homework and find out. There you go. Let's continue onwards. USO, oil, nothing to do with it. Leave it alone. XAR, aerospace. Basing right here needs to take out this top with volume. See the simple base right there? That corresponds. I'll make this longer. That's close enough. With that line right there, just nice lift off there and kind of loose, so just be a little cautious. Let's move on here. We're almost done. Biotechnology. Look at that nice trend on the weekly. Look at that nice trend on the daily. It's been telling you, hey, maybe look into some biotechnology stocks or just buy XBI. There you go. Now, it's a little extended here to buy, but you get the point as far as right here, there's a nice steady pullback to the rising ADMA. And look at the volume pickup on that ball. Things to look at. And please note this. Don't think you have to buy everything. In fact, from a trade management psychological level, 8 to 10 stocks, and that includes ETFs, 8 to 10 issues. That's plenty to manage and own. Okay? Just don't get too many. It'll cloud your thinking. It'll overwhelm your thinking and judgment. XLB, there's nothing to do with materials. Leave it alone. Communications is pretty sloppy. Leave it alone. Energy is pretty sloppy. Leave it alone. Financials is sloppy. Leave it alone. Industrials kind of chopping around. It looks a little bit better, but it's kind of loose here. High investor emotions represented in that chart. Look at those swings. A little cautious with industrials. Technology. Oh, that one doesn't look too bad, does it? Well, look at that nice long base on the weekly. Oh, that's pretty good. Yes. Are we pretty heavily involved in technology? Yeah, we are. And we have been. Why? It's been telling us to. There we go with individual stocks. Consumer staples. Are we heavily involved in consumer staple stocks? No. Why? You see this. It's in a downtrend. Leave it alone. Riding trends will pay you more money than anything else you can do, folks. Utilities is lifted up, pulling back here a little bit of selling. Okay, that's interest rate sensitive, just something to be aware of. No clean entry on that. Healthcare, just chopping around. It really needs to power up through these tops. Okay, until it does, be a little cautious. By the way, I'm not being bearish. I'm just pointing out what is. That's all. Consumer discretionary starts to lift up. See something interesting? Look at that. Rallies right up near old highs. It rallies up near highs and drops off. Rallies up near highs right there and drops off. Rallies up near old highs here and drops off. That's a valuable lesson. It's telling us something. It's not some deep, dark conspiracy theory. It's just telling us, hey, there's a seller up here. Runs up and drops. Runs up and drops. Runs up and drops. We knew that. You know that. Did we buy it up here? No. No. Didn't show enough power either, did it? The volume on that bar pushing through those, it didn't break out, came close to the pivot. Not a lot of buying volume, not a lot of power, so we stayed away. Continue on. Metals and mining, kind of choppy there. Be cautious with that. Oil, nothing good with oil. This green moving average is the 50-day moving average line, folks. You want to dramatically improve your investing results? Focus on securities that are above a rising 50-day moving average line. You will narrow your focus. You will dramatically improve your investing results. There you go. And the last point I'll make in that realm, never argue with price. XRT, yeah, that's below the 50-day. Yeah, leave it alone. Software, resting on the 50-day. Right there, you see this? But it needs to push through these tops. Notice, rallies up, falls. Rallies up, falls. Here, here, and here. Sellers up there. Until it takes out this line, these tops, be a little careful with software. I do like the weekly base though too. But until it shows that power, leave it alone.
This market keeps flashing strength in one pocket and weakness in another. One day it looks ready to break out. The next day it fades back into the range. Traders who chase the green candles are getting chopped. The edge this week is simple. Align the indexes, respect the 8 EMA, and buy strength near the pivot, not emotion at the highs. Welcome to Market Edge, ahead of the trade.
Apple. Apple in my eye. Trending nicely. This is the MAXLIST. Just trending. Note the trend up the 8 EMA. We're in this. We've sold some, and we're just watching it right now. One slight concern is on Friday, it gapped up and reversed and closed in the bottom third of its daily range on a pickup in volume. But until it takes out the 8 EMA, we're in fine shape. We'll just watch it. We didn't buy it up here. We bought it down lower, and we've been riding trends. There we are. Did we sell some into strength? Yes, we've sold some into strength. Okay. Partial sells help us make money and also lessens risk and also lessens stress. Protect what goes on between your ears, folks. It has a profound impact on thought processes. Continuing onwards here, Amazon, big gap up. This was on earnings, okay? Now, you can say, well, do you buy it up here? No, you wait. See that big gap up there? See where it opened? Avoid that. And I'm going to show you a great tactic here. That's a daily chart. Here's the 10-minute chart. That's the open right there. Opened up, gap, huge gap up, moves up just a hair and then backs off. And that's all she wrote for the rest of the day. The moral of the story is be very careful buying gap ups. Please. Waiting is a good thing sometimes too. So let's go back here and I'll refresh this. Here we go. Now, is this on my watch list? You bet it is. If this could just base for several days and then take off, that could be a candidate. But for right now, we just got to kind of sit tight. Sit tight. Don't buy it up there. Wait. Same thing's true with AMZU. This is a way to get in. Do you see this? This is the Direxion bull on Amazon. It's a way to get in Amazon. If you look at this chart pattern here, please. Here it is on the common stock. Here it is on the Direxion. Very similar pattern here. Chopping around up here a little bit, back and forth. Show it again. Chopping around here. Not exactly the same, but until it pushes through these tops right here, our basis, give it a couple of days, and we'll look for an entry. Okay. If you do buy it up here, go smaller to lessen your risk. And also, and we teach this in Mission Winners, everybody talks about good buying. Good selling is where the money is made. And part of good selling is good offensive selling and good defensive selling to control, lessen risk. So just be careful chasing the big gap. I'm sorry for the longer dissertation on that, but I think it's very important. Why? Because we're talking about your money. And I think that's kind of important. AMZU, same situation with the leverage. Continue onwards. Alibaba, put a buy on Alibaba down here. Back in here. And that is just, that's the weekly chart. That's a nice trend, folks. And that is exactly what we look for. Simple base breakout on the weekly. Note the volume pickup. This was on the key list, and note that trend. Did we sell some into strength? Yes. And then when it starts to fall, did we sell more? Yes. Now here's what it could do. This is the daily weekly chart. Here's the daily chart. This is why I love this template. You can say, well, I don't see anything on the weekly, but look at the daily. And I'll do something that'll help. I'm going to slide this over so it's easier for you to see this. Right there. The tops on this bar and this bar and this bar are all about the same. Could this, and it's pulled back, went up on decent volume, pulled back on low volume on the daily, could this form a small handle here? And again, mission winners, we always have a plan. All right, good. Will it? I don't know. I don't forecast what's going to happen. I just get in line with what is. Form a handle here would be really nice, and then take off, and we'll be ready. What would be your trigger? Take out the top of this bar right here. The high on this bar is 182.50. 182.60 in a good market with volume is what we'd be looking for on Alibaba. Also, another very important lesson, set your price alerts early. Don't set your price alert at the pivot. Set it a little early. That way you will not be frantic. It's like, oh God, it's hitting the pivot, I gotta buy. No, set it early so you can observe the price and volume action to make a better investing decision with low stress and emotions. It really helps you, folks. That's a fact. Baidu, kind of choppy here on the weekly. You see this? There's some tops here on the daily, and I'll draw this to help you. Baidu and Baba are kind of like sister stocks. You can see these tops across here, slight downward sloping trend line. But please note, there was some distribution in here. So be a little cautious with that till it starts to push through that line with volume. Be careful. Also note, support on the rising 50-day, that's good. I like that. Let's continue onwards here. We're taking a look at Google. Nice base breakout. Look at the weekly base breakout. That was bought back there. And then pushes through here. Another base breakout right there. Bought more. Locked some profits in, sold some into strength. By the way, no day trading. We're looking at weekly and daily charts. This is why I love, look at that weekly base. It's huge. Look at the volume pickup on that bar when it was pushing through those tops. That's big institutional buying. Yeah, we were buying there too. Sold some into strength in good shape. Please note, this is not a brag fest. Good Lord, no. It's an educational video. What to look for in the charts. And I will tell you this, there was nobody out there at that time with me because the internet didn't exist, okay? So we just figured it out, studying charts. Goldman Sachs rallies right up. This charts are a reflection of human emotions, folks. Fear, greed, panic, complacency. Check this out. That's close enough. Right up here, rallies up, wiggles around and drops. Rallies up, drops. Rallies up and drops. Sellers, it's met with selling up there. Until it takes out the tops of this bar, be great if this formed a little handle, okay? Takes out the tops of this bar, hey, that could be a potential buy. Let it form a handle. Give it several days and let's see what happens, all right? We will be ready. Slight negative, selling volume on that bar right there. You see that? Selling volume in here. So just be a little cautious with it. You can see it on the weekly too. So you look here and you say, I kind of see it. Oh, let's glance at the weekly and go, oh, there was some selling volume there, Pat. Yeah, that's combining time frames together for better decision making. Continue on over here. MasterCard, there ain't nothing there. Leave it alone. So this is 1.5, the Granite shares 1.5 times Meta. It allows you to get in Meta at a cheaper price than META. You'll see META coming up. And you see that big gap down? That was earnings. Earnings did that. Team, and this is for everybody, please be careful buying just before earnings. Do not carry heavy positions into earnings. It only takes a couple of these to really rattle you. Okay, I mean, that's 10-point gap down, folks, right there, more than 10 points. As they said, What was that movie? Tommy Boy? Well, that's going to leave one more. Yeah. So nothing to do with it at this point in time. Leave it alone. Let's move on. Meta, there's the big one. Meta. Aren't you glad? Say it again. Be careful buying stocks just before earnings. Be careful owning stocks coming into earnings. If you have a big position, get a little lighter, just in case. Here we go. And you avoid things like that. Microsoft. Great lesson here. Oh boy, it's running. This is awesome. Look at this. This baby's going, babe. Oh man, this is it. Rockets, red glare, bombs bursting in the air. Okay. Gaps up. Powerful lesson here. Gaps up, runs up, reverses down. Okay. Right there on a pickup in volume. The heaviest volume it had for several weeks on that bar right there. That is a trigger, a sell signal to say, hey, you might want to get a little lighter. All righty? And sell some into strength. And don't argue with price. That's the moral of this chart right here. Big reversal bar, sell some. Starts to drop, and look at the volume on this bar. Heavier volume on that bar. It's telling you, hey, you might want to sell some more. And then you get this. And all of a sudden you say, God, I could have sold more into strength. There you go. Accept this fact. I really mean this. We're not going to sell at the top. That's too much pressure, too much ego. God, I got the top. That's a crock. You get what you can and you manage it. And let price combined with volume guide your actions. It lessens stress, again, which leads to clear decision making, which normally leads to more profits. That's not an opinion. That's a fact. Continue onward. Netflix. We should make a movie on why not to buy Netflix. No, I'm sorry I had to say it. They probably wouldn't put it on their channels, would they? Anyway, there's nothing to do with it at this point in time. But eventually it's going to bottom and it'll lead to a great opportunity. But right now there's nothing there. You just move on. Nvidia. Note the symbol base breakout right here. Symbol base through here. Here it is on the daily. Owned. Sold some into strength. We're in good shape. I'm very thankful. Okay? Just let it work. By the way, I want to show you on the weekly. We talk about simple bases. Look at both weekly and daily. Look at that weekly base breakout right there. Here, I'll slide this over to show you. Oh, it's just going sideways there, Didn't close too bad on that bar. Closed near the highs on a slight pickup in volume. Has support on the 80 EMA. Folks, I made videos on this back here for the team. Okay? Yeah, I guess we ought to watch it. Oh, look at that. Note the volume on that bar. On this bar, folks, 145 million, 290 million. Double. I'm rounding just a hair. Okay, that's 145.3. That's 289.9. Okay, I can round it up to 290. You get my point. They voted right there, and we did too. That's what we look for. And what's it do? A pretty good move there. Pretty good move there. Pretty good move right there. Those are weekly charts, folks. Weeklies. That's why I pound the table on weekly. Who do I really credit for looking at weeklies? 2 people. Well, 3 people, really. William O'Neill, Mike Webster. Had the great pleasure of meeting both of them. Charlie Harris. Got to meet him also. At Cancer Level 3s. They had a profound impact on me, and I'm grateful for each of them. It was a sad day when Bill passed away, but I never ever forget it. This 3rd time I met him, I shook his hand and I said, I just want to tell you, you changed my life. He goes, thank you very much. Just good, kind man. Anyway, enough of that. Let's get back down to it. We're trying to teach people here what to look for. Nvidia's in good shape. Let's see what it can do. Moving on here. This is like granite shares, another way to get in into a cheaper price, same pattern. Okay. Tesla. What's Tesla need to do? Got a base right here. Take a look at this. This, again, you look at this, go, that looks like a little base right there, Pat. But then you look at the weekly and you go, whoa, that looks like a pretty dang big weekly cup and a handle going across these tops. And that's close enough right there. Yeah, take this out. It's a big cup and a handle. What else do you notice about it? Well, it started to pick up here, but it needs more volume through those tops. You are correct. And always be aware, folks, on any of these stocks if earnings are coming. TSL, sim situation, okay, allows you to get into Tesla. at a cheaper price. Just point that out. Same with TSLL, Visa. It's everywhere you don't want to be right now. It's just choppy here. Look at how loose it is on the daily. That's high investor emotion. Just stay away from it.
That wraps up today's episode. Huge thanks to Pat Walker for another deep dive and to all of you for tuning in. If you found this helpful, make sure to subscribe to Mission Winners on YouTube, check out missionwinners.com, and stay sharp out there. Master your strategy, trust the process, and maintain your edge.
The charts will rise, the charts will fall. Don't lose your head, don't risk it all. Every trade's another test. Keep your cool, trust your best. Stay safe out there, keep your line tight. Risk first, always do it right. You don't need luck, just do the math. Be smart, stay true, stay on your path. Storms may come, but you'll stand tall. You don't win if you chase it all.